John, HELENE charisma. This time last year, you're getting ready for the Vars. He runs at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. He's been unlucky his last two. He's in Class 3. Is this a level he should be winning at?
Definitely, it is a level. He got stopped in his tracks the other day when he was going to be right in the finish. It was unfortunate. You know, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. He's been a big disappointment since winning the Grand Prix de Paris in France, and coming to Hong Kong. We thought, you know, that he was the ideal Derby horse if he could cope with the environment, which it's turned out he wasn't able to. And as I said, he's found his way here slowly down the classes, and now he's in Class 3. And as we said earlier on, he should be winning here.
You took him to Chung Fa a couple of months ago. Did that help turn things around with him?
Well, we just tried to change environment, you know, in Chung Fa, open spaces, a nice green paddock and whatever. He did come back a bit hairy because it's a few degrees cooler there. One has to pay attention to. But he's done well leading into the race, and we expect him to be right there when the whips are cracking.
Thou shall sing, Douglas. You rode him for the first time under race conditions last time. What were your thoughts on that run?
I thought he ran a solid race. I had a lot of pressure on my inside, and I was forced to take up the running. He got a nice time of it eventually in front, and I thought he was pretty tough on the line.
Looking at the race on Wednesday night, on paper there also looks to be a bit of speed. You made the running last time, but do you think he's a bit more versatile potentially? He's
definitely versatile. As I said last time, two dug up inside me and I was committed to press on. Depending on how he jumps and how the pace and the race unfolds, he's pretty flexible, I think, and taking the sit would be an option.
He's been placed on a few occasions, but he's still a maiden. Can we question his attitude, or is he just not quite got that opportunity to win one?
He's a bit quirky, hence the reason I think he's one of the horses that up at Chung Fa. He races with a hood on and pacifiers, and so he has got a few head issues, but last time on race day he seemed pretty good.
Lakeshore Eagle, Douglas, you've ridden him in 3 of his 4 trials leading into Wednesday night. What's he like?
He's a nice horse going forward. He's very weak at the moment, but hence he's had the trials and the foundation work to build him up. He's going to improve a lot from the run, but he's a nice horse going forward.
Never been to the Valley? How do you think he'll handle it?
I think he'll be okay. Mentally, he's the kind of horse that he wouldn't take it, it wouldn't harm him. He's an easygoing horse, so I think going to the Valley first time is certainly not going to hinder his chances.
So what would be a pass mark for him first up?
I think he'd be competitive. I can't see him winning unless he really turns it on race day, but I think he'll step away from this race and he'll gain a lot from it.
Good Beauty John, he was a surprise a bit for the punters, winning last time out at $22. Was he a surprise for you?
No, he wasn't. I said to the owner, even though he was big odds, that he definitely was an each-way chance, you know, more on the place Quinella side. But he'd done everything right leading into the race. He'd drawn well, and Dougie gave him a gun ride. But this time he's a much fitter horse. His work leading into the race tomorrow night has been exemplary. He couldn't, done any better than what he's done. So again, he's drawn pretty well. And the same sort of ride, I expect him to also to be in the finish.
Less than 2 weeks to go until the big day in December. You've got 3 runners, Eagle Way, Werther, Beauty Generation, all well with the 3 of them heading towards the big day? Yes,
there's been a bit of media speculation with respect to the 2 of them coming out onto the track and whatever. We all know that Beauty Generation had some shoeing issues and bruised soles. For that reason, he did hang in his race, even though he broke a track record. That has now all been resolved. We've got some rim pads on him now, which will be changed over to race plates come race day. But he's out on the track. He galloped on Saturday morning with my French riding boy, who said no, he didn't hang at all. Everything was cherry ripe. We're going into the race, with a very, very fit horse, and he'll be the one to beat. Werther is really going, his fitness levels is just where we need it to be for the big race next week, and I believe that if Hugh Bowman can jump him away and be right in behind the speed, not giving any start away to Time Walk this time, I think he's a live chance.